Your own self-realization is the greatest service you can render the world. Wanting to reform the world without discovering one's true self is like trying to cover the world with leather to avoid the pain of walking on stones and thorns. It is much simpler to wear shoes. You can only stop the flow of thoughts by refusing to have any interest in it. There is neither creation nor destruction, neither destiny nor free will, neither path nor achievement. This is the final truth. There is neither past nor future. There is only the present. If the mind falls asleep, awaken it. Then, if it starts wandering, make it quiet. If you reach the state where there is neither sleep nor movement of mind, stay still in that, the natural, real state. The greatest error of a man is to think that he is weak by nature, evil by nature. Every man is divine and strong in his real nature. What are weak and evil are his habits, his desires, and thoughts, but not himself. Realization is not acquisition of anything new, nor is it a new faculty. It is only removal of all camouflage. Eventually, all that one has learnt will have to be forgotten. The quality of food influences the mind. The mind feeds on the food consumed. Habit is only adjustment to the environment. It is the mind that matters. The fact is that the mind has been trained to think certain foods tasty and good. The food material is to be had both in vegetarian and non-vegetarian diet equally well. But the mind desires such food as it is accustomed to and considers tasty. Tobacco only gives temporary stimulation to which there must be a reaction with craving for more. Also, it is not good for meditation practice. Those who take opium or alcohol are unconsciously seeking the blissful, thoughtless state of the real self. They get an imitation of this state by drugs, but afterwards they must resume their normal state, and the craving comes back, even stronger, until they become chronic addicts and slaves to the substance. With all such stimulants, there must be a fall. If the mind is subdued, everything is conquered. If you go on working with the light available, you will meet your master, as he himself will be seeking you. Liberation is our very nature. We are that. The very fact that we wish for liberation shows that freedom from all bondage is our real nature. That has not got to be freshly acquired. All that is necessary is to get rid of the false notion that we are bound. When we achieve that, there will be no desire or thought of any sort. So long as one desires liberation, so long you may take it, one is in bondage. Become conscious of being conscious. Say or think, I am, and add nothing to it. Be aware of the stillness that follows the I am. Sense your presence, the naked, unveiled, unclothed beingness. It is untouched by young or old, rich or poor, good or bad, or any other attributes. It is the spacious womb of all creation, all form. When one remains without thinking, one understands another by means of the universal language of silence. If you hold this feeling of I long enough and strongly enough, the false I will vanish, leaving only the unbroken awareness of the real, immanent I, consciousness itself. Your concentration must come as easily as the breath. Fix yourself on one thing and try to hold on to it. All will come right. Meditation is sticking to one thought. That single thought keeps away other thoughts. The dissipated mind is a sign of its weakness. By constant meditation, it gains strength. Long for it, God or the self, intensely, so that the mind melts in devotion. After the camphor burns away, no residue is left. The mind is the camphor. When it has resolved itself into the self, without leaving even the slightest trace behind, it is realization of the self. The explorers seek happiness in finding curiosities, discovering new lands, and undergoing risks in adventures. They are thrilling, but where is pleasure found? Only within. Pleasure is not to be sought in the external world. There is no room for kama, desire, so long as there is an object apart from the subject. There can be no desire if there is no object. The state of no desire is moksha. The glory of self-realization is not experienced except in the hearts of those who are very zealous about sinking into the self. Do not be confounded by this worthless samsara that appears as a dream in the deluding sleep of ignorance. In a mind that has an intense desire for reality, consciousness, the supreme, it is impossible for the binding mental delusion that arises in the dense darkness of ignorance to remain. Even the desire for liberation is the work of delusion. Therefore, remain still. The mind will subside only by means of the inquiry, who am I? The thought, who am I, destroying all other thoughts, will itself be finally destroyed, like the stick used for stirring the funeral pyre. By becoming the source of all desires, the ego is the doorway to the sorrow of samsara. The extremely heroic and discriminating person first attains through dispassion the total renunciation of desires that arise in the form of I want. Subsequently, through the self-word enquiry, who am I? He renounces that ego, leaving no trace of it, and attains the bliss of peace, free from anxieties. This is the supreme benefit of Dharma.
हरि भजन में राम, हरि भजन में राम।